Welcome back to the e-commerce MVP videocast. This is part 2 of the complete guide to sourcing products from Alibaba.com. In part 1, I went over some of the fundamentals of Alibaba. I explained what it is and how to use it. In this part, I'll explain how to actually find products from Alibaba, the website. But before that, I'll explain some of the rules, or rather the unwritten rules of using Alibaba. I'll also show you how to speak Chinese. What I mean by that is, when you source products from suppliers overseas, there's a certain lingo. There's a certain way you have to talk to them in order to drive down the price and communicate effectively. You'll see as we move along. So let's go over some of the unwritten rules, and these are really important. The first rule of Alibaba is try to form long-term relationships with your suppliers and manufacturers. Suppliers are looking for people who want to order a lot of products from them. And so by forming a long-term relationship or showing them that you're looking to form a long-term relationship, they're willing to be more flexible upfront. They're willing to give you a preferential pricing as well as letting you order smaller quantities of products. Rule number 2, numbers on Alibaba mean nothing. If you see a number on Alibaba, treat it with a grain of salt because everything on Alibaba is negotiable. Rule number 3, never place a large order before seeing samples. Whether you're ordering 10 pieces, 100 pieces, or 1,000 pieces, never place a large order unless you see and verify the quality of the work. The problem with dealing with overseas suppliers is communication, and a lot of times you may order something thinking you're getting one product, but it turns out you're getting something entirely different. Rule number 4, always negotiate, and this is tied to rule number 2. Numbers mean nothing, so any number you see, you can negotiate. Rule number 5, don't waste time with suppliers. Go straight to the manufacturer. A lot of times, the person you are speaking to on Alibaba is just an agent, and sometimes they call themselves suppliers. The problem with these suppliers is that they're just middlemen. They'll go and they'll find your product, they'll bundle it all together and ship it to you. If the product arrives and it's defective or every single product is different, there's not a lot you can do because once the middleman has been paid, he's out of the picture and he won't care. So always find the manufacturer. Just a side note, if I say manufacturer or supplier from this point on, I'm always referring to the manufacturer. Rule number 6, keep records of everything. Now, there's going to be a lot of back and forth between you and your supplier, and you can use Skype or WhatsApp or any other means of communicating with them. But the important details need to go into a document that both of you share. And that way, if there's an issue with the product you received, you can easily resolve it. Also, if you have a good relationship with your supplier, they're more likely to work with you. If you have a poor relationship or the supplier doesn't feel that you will be a long-time customer, they won't necessarily care. So that's why rule number 1 is so important. So everything we've talked about so far in part 1 and up to now has been theoretical. Let's actually go to Alibaba where I'll show you how to find these products and suppliers, and we'll start to implement some of these rules. Alright, so I'm here at the Alibaba homepage. Now, if you don't already have an account, go ahead and create one. All you need is a valid email address. You don't have to provide your phone number or your credit card. Once you've created an account, sign in and return to the homepage. Now, if you don't know which product you're looking for, you can search for anything through categories, and there are literally millions of products here to search through. For this example, I'm going to say that I'm looking to source sweatshirts, or more specifically hoodies. So I'm going to search for that product in the search bar here. And as you can see, there are literally hundreds and thousands of suppliers that are looking to source, or rather to sell hoodies to buyers anywhere in the world. Now, if I want, I can narrow the search field by using some of these product filters you see here. If I'm looking for a supplier who's only using 100% cotton, I would just click right there. And now the search field has been narrowed. Also, something to keep in mind, every country has something they specialize in. For example, China is known mainly for manufactured or mass-produced products. Pakistan and Turkey are known for their quality of cotton, same with Bangladesh. Japan is known for their electronics. So depending on what you're sourcing, you want to try to find the country that specializes in that product. So I'm going to just go back up here now And let's just say I am interested in getting some more information from this supplier who's selling hoodies. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now I'm taken to that supplier's homepage where I'll find all the information I need. Here I have the product information or the product specification. I have information about shipping and payment. Now, payments is something that's going to be covered in a whole other video, so don't worry about that just yet. I also have product images. I'm just going to go back to the top here. Now, the information that I'm really interested in is obviously price. The price of the product is found here. It's called the FOB price. FOB stands for freight on board or free on board. Basically, that means it's the all-inclusive price per unit. That includes any handling charges, setup charges, or any other surcharges. In this case, this supplier is charging between $2.50 and $6.50 per hoodie. That price changes depending on how many hoodies I order. Obviously, the more products I order, the lower the price. The other thing you have to pay attention to is the MOQ, or minimum order quantity, meaning that if I want to buy products from this supplier, I cannot order less than 200 pieces. So if I order the MOQ 200 pieces, the price should be around $6.50 a piece. It could actually be even more. $6.50 could represent the price if I order 1,000 units. The only way to find out is by talking to the supplier. Now, if I order 1,000 or 5,000 units, I should expect to pay around $2.50 because the more products I order, the lower the price. Now, these are all just numbers, and if you recall from rule number 2, any number you see on Alibaba can be ignored because everything on Alibaba is negotiable. Now, I'm actually going to show you how I apply all 6 of the unwritten rules of Alibaba by actually chatting with the agent that works for this company. Now, I've gone ahead and actually initiated a chat already, and I'm just going to show you what I said. I say, hi. She says, yes. What can I do for you? I respond, how are you? Rule number 1 says, I'm looking to form a long-term relationship with my supplier, so I want to be respectful and polite. So I ask how she's doing. She responds, fine. Now I'm going to get straight to the point. I say, I'm looking to order hoodies, but I'm interested in low minimum quantities or low MOQ. Now, the English I use is not very refined because you have to keep in mind that the people you talk to overseas, English is like their 5th or 6th language in some cases. So use as few words as possible and stick to basic English. Sometimes you can even break up words as long as the message is clear. Now, if you recall, the MOQ was for this supplier was 200 pieces, and I'm saying I want less. She says, great, sure we can. How many pieces do you want? And I say 10 to start. So now I've proven that the MOQ, the number you see here, doesn't really mean anything because she says, sure we can. We are the direct manufacturer. Great. That answers my next question. Are you an agent or are you the manufacturer? Do you actually work for this company? And she says, we are the direct manufacturer. Now, if she's not telling the truth, it'll come out later on. For now, I'm just interested in gathering some information. Perfect. That's all I wanted. I just wanted her email and to introduce myself and establish what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and reiterate everything I just talked about here and send it off in an email to her and wait for her response. Now, the email will look something like this, and I've created a link to this document, and you can use it if you like. It will say something like, dear, enter the person's name. This is my name from USA or whichever country you're from. We just spoke on Alibaba Chat. We are a business looking to buy whatever product it is from China. Now, pause here for a second. If someone locally were to read this email, they would think it's really unprofessional and you probably wouldn't get anywhere. But remember, you're dealing with suppliers overseas whose primary language is not English. So stick to very basic English that they can understand. They shouldn't have to use a dictionary or a thesaurus. Use as few words as possible. Continuing, I say we wish to form a long-term relationship. Here's rule number 1 with our supplier, but we need to start with a low MOQ. Remember, one of the rules was I'm not looking to order thousands of pieces. I need to see samples first. So please let me know if you can. Again, I'm going to iterate. I'm looking for low MOQ to start. We only want 10 pieces for now. Also, I want to be able to customize the product a little bit, so I'm looking to form a white label or a private label. So I'm asking, can you put our logo on the product? We need hoodies that are made from 100% organic cotton. The color should be blue with a full zip. If you have something similar to this product, now if you have a product that you see at a store or any other site, you can just include the link here and they'll tell you if they can make it. Also, I want to include a few details in the email. I want to give them some idea of what I'm looking for. I'm not going to list everything. That's going to come later on. But for now, I'm just laying the foundation to find out what they can offer. I say, please let me know. Also, please send me your full catalog so I can see if there are other products I'm interested in. The products you see on Alibaba is only a sample of what the supplier can do. In reality, they have hundreds or thousands of products which they don't even list on Alibaba. So you can always ask for a catalog to see the full range of merchandise. You can contact me anytime if you have any questions. Now this is important. I'm going to give them my Skype name if I have a Skype account, and usually they do. And I'm also going to give them my WhatsApp phone number. Now, if you're not familiar with WhatsApp, it's just an instant messaging application for your smartphone. So you can download the app from your app store, and most people in China, or in fact most people internationally, have WhatsApp on their phone. It's a great way to communicate in real time. Also, I'm going to include my email address, and I'll just remind you that the important stuff you're going to want to document in an email. But for the day-to-day conversations or to get real-time updates, that's where I use WhatsApp. Initially, when I'm talking to suppliers, I'll establish what I'm looking for in WhatsApp. When I'm ready to order and I want to provide all the important information, I'll put that in an email. And that's basically it. That's how I establish my relationship with a supplier. I just search for a product, I find suppliers. Now I'm going to do this for at least 10 different suppliers so I can get as much information as possible. Before we wrap up, I just want to go back to Alibaba and show you one more thing. How to get the supplier to come to you. In the example we use right now, I typed in the product I'm looking for to find the different suppliers. Another way, or a quicker way to do it, is to get quotations. So if you look for a product, you can just type in hoodies or anything else, and then you just say get quotations. And what happens by doing this is the suppliers see your request to buy something and they will give you a quote. So I'm going to go ahead and say submit buying request. Here I'm just going to provide some information as to what I'm looking for. So I'll say the same product. I'm looking for low MOQ hoodies made from 100% organic cotton. So it's pretty specific. The title is implicit and I know what I'm looking for here. And automatically it's going to send the minimum order quantity. Now in the email I said I only wanted 10 orders or 10 pieces of this product. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm looking for 10. And what's going to happen is Alibaba is going to say, sorry, we can't do that. We are a B2B platform, a business-to-business platform, meaning you have to order products in bulk. So I'm just going to go back and say, no problem, I'm looking for 100. Now you're happy. Here in the product description, I'm going to put as much information as I can, including, again, the fact that I'm looking for low quantity. So low MOQ order only, need 10 pieces of, and now I'm going to reiterate everything I mentioned in the email. I'm looking for a hoodie, the color is blue, I want organic materials, I want a certain packaging, as much information as I can provide in here. I'm going to go ahead and enter that. Once I'm done, I say submit buying request, and this will be blasted out to everyone on Alibaba that makes this product, and within hours you will get anywhere between 10 to 100 quotes for this product. So the suppliers now will come to you. Also, if I say agree to my share my business card, your information, your contact information will be shown and you're going to get emails from suppliers. I don't recommend necessarily doing this because you're going to be inundated with emails. This is good enough. The suppliers that are gold suppliers, which I'll talk about in another video, they're going to get this information and they're going to start to give you a quote, and that way you don't have to go chase 10 or 12 different suppliers. You let them come to you. So with that said, we'll wrap up part 2 here. If you have any questions or concerns, you can leave a comment below, or you can contact me through the Facebook page. I try to answer as many questions as I can in a timely manner. Also, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 3.